All right, morning everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vays. So today we'll probably focus a little bit more on the S&P 500. Nothing is really going on with Bitcoin, but the S&P 500 is potentially ready for a new high today. We can break the all-time high today. I wouldn't be surprised if the S&P 500 rallies another 250 points based on what is happening this morning. I cannot explain this whatsoever. So we're going to take a look at the charts and maybe let them be our guide. Let me pull out your live chat, guys. Hopefully I have some friends doing questions. I'm testing out a new monitor. I'm doing all, hopefully I don't know if the video quality is better or not, but the video quality should get better. Audio quality should get better. I am reconstructing my studio as we speak, which takes an unreasonable amount of time and energy. Okay. Here we go. Got your live chat up. This and that. All right. So I hope the dimensions of my screen share are going to be okay as I'm about to start screen sharing. All right. Here we go. Where's my screen share? There it is. Okay, I'm gonna actually keep an eye on the live feed as well. I want to see how it looks like and if I'm taking up the entire screen. Okay, so we are kicking off with the S&P 500, and you can see this giant gap, and that is on top of a previous giant gap, which is on top of a previous giant gap. I do think that these gaps need to close. I just don't see how the economy is justifying such valuations of the stock market. Let me, again, I want to see. Okay, yeah, it looks good. I think I almost got it right. Hold on. If I shorten it a little, that should make it full screen. Okay, that's good enough. All right. So, like I said yesterday, that I was gonna judge whether I was gonna hold my short of the S&P 500 into market close. So, one second, guys. I'm making a mess. Got a new keyboard. Let me not destroy this one, considering I already destroyed the keyboard on my actual laptop, which is why I'm dying to buy a new laptop. The moment it's available on sale, I'm buying it. Normally, I would say I'm going to wait until, you know, whoa. What did I just exit? Normally, I would say I was going to wait until Black Friday and the sales. But I can't wait because I need a functioning laptop. And therefore, well, I lost the video stream. Oh, well. I lost it on my end. That's okay. Anyway, we're going to get back to the charts. So like I said yesterday with the S&P 500, if it was going to be closing strong, I was going to give it one last day for my short position that was entered right here. And because yesterday was closing as a rally, I had no choice. My stop loss got hit and I got out of that short, which is excellent because today I would not be a very happy person considering what happened with the S&P 500 right there. So yes, I'm glad I'm out of my short, but I am not long. I'm not going to long this market. I'm waiting for a pullback. You know what this reminds me of? Oh, the RSI on the weekly. Oh, sorry, this is the daily. The RSI is almost overbought on the daily. The MACD looks good. If we look at the weekly, I believe the weekly is topping this week. but yesterday's end of day close was not good for me. This is what I refer to as the spirit of the 9. There's just too little variance here at a Friday close to prevent this from being literally a 9 right here for a potential market top. And therefore, I am still treating this week as a topping, but I didn't want to risk it because for me, the most important thing, as you saw from yesterday's stream, the most important thing to me is capital preservation. And therefore, I am currently out of my short, but I'm potentially looking to re-enter it tomorrow or the next day. So I kind of wanted to go higher now so I can get a better price on my short. Let me pull up the 10-minute chart of the futures market. And I keep moving this Fibonacci line because the market keeps going higher and higher. Now we have to move it to here. And look at that. We have a 9 on a 10-minute chart. But that's like a double or a triple 9, isn't it? That's a triple. Whoa. Whoa. I would love for it to close as a 9. But we have 3 minutes to go. Why don't we watch this for the next 3 minutes? And then we're going to move on to Bitcoin. And then we'll see how Bitcoin's doing. Man, I kind of want to get my stream back. Control-Shift-T brings back the old tabs. But here we go. All right, got it. I got to mute that. All right, either way, this could have been a top right here at 11:30 a.m. Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna let TA be the judge of this. SPX all new all-time high by 4th of July. Very possible. I'm not gonna talk politics today. We're done with politics. I'm gonna save politics for probably 4 p.m. today. We're going to have the law show. I'm trying to put the law show together for 4 p.m. And we're going to talk a lot about like civil liberties and a law that's not in the realm of Bitcoin. So that would be my goal for the 4 p.m. law show. And therefore, I'm not going to talk any politics today. I am totally done with politics. Let's just stick to the markets. Tone, the market is a forward-looking machine. It doesn't care about what's happening now. I agree. I completely agree. I'm the one that's been saying this forever. The market is a forward-looking machine. But here's what I look at going forward. No one has jobs. And your stores are being vandalized, so you're afraid to keep them even open. I agree. The market believes the market will bounce back after COVID is gone. Yes, but we have a bigger problem than COVID. Local civil unrest is a bigger problem than COVID ever was. Tone, do you think what we're seeing is people buying in because they know the Fed will come in to rescue if we drop too much? Yes, that's not the only reason. That is one reason. That's not the only reason why people are buying in. Another reason why I can see a lot of people buying in is because that's where they feel their money is safest. Their money is safest in Google stock and Tesla stock and Apple stock because those companies will continue to sell their cell phones. Again, I'm not going to get political, but every third person you see in your protest is holding up an Apple iPhone recording the protest. So Apple isn't going anywhere, and neither is Google, and neither is Android. Okay, so yes, people feel that their money is safer with those companies. I want to know how you personally escaped Stalin. I wasn't old enough. I'm not that old, guys. I wasn't old enough for Stalin. But I did go to the Stalin Museum when I was in Georgia, because Stalin is actually Georgian. So Stalin is from the Republic of Georgia. And back then, and communism was all one country. It was all the Soviet Union. So he's from a town called Gorey in Georgia. And when I was in Georgia, we drove through that town, and I did stop by the Stalin Museum. Wow, talk about a little propagandish there. But yes, I did stop by and check it out. If you are in Georgia, in the Republic of Georgia, and I strongly recommend go visit Georgia. I love the country. I absolutely love it. People ask me, Tone, where would you move to? Georgia is in my top 5. It's in my top 5. There is a couple of things that aren't great. The biggest of which is there's really no major international airport. You really don't have that many direct flights to anywhere. So that's a big issue for me. But I absolutely love the country. All right, the candle's over. Let's talk Bitcoin. We got 700 viewers. Let's talk. We'll swing through oil. See, as long as the market is rebounding, oil is rebounding. So, but I still think oil is going to top in the near future. Silver probably dropping hard, and probably so is gold. Yep, and there goes gold. Gold is dropping hard as well. Again, because the market is rebounding. So people see the stock market as a safe haven, and they don't really see gold as that safe haven. As long as the market continues to rise, gold will struggle to go to new all-time highs. However, I am still bullish on gold. I like this consolidation, and I am still leaning bearish on the stock market for a much needed pullback. So as I was saying about the stock market, if we look at this is the weekly chart, that's insane. But if we just go to if we go back to the daily chart, this stock market rally, this monster stock market rally, let me drop the oscillators. This monster stock market rally reminds me a lot about the Bitcoin rally last summer. It was a Bitcoin rally where everyone thought it was going to the moon. It came close to the all-time highs. We hit 14,000 for God's sakes, and the all-time high was 20,000. And now here we are, almost exactly a year later. We're already in June, and this was in June, though this was at the end of June. This is in the beginning of June. So here we are a year later, and we are still, 30% lower than that peak a year later. And on the way to only being 30% lower, we were down 75% lower, because this right here is 63. But then if I put it up there, it's significantly higher than that. So if I go to here, it's like 75%, 72 and a half. Okay. So I actually don't really need this anymore. I don't even know why it's there. I'm going to delete it. So this is what the current S&P 500 rally reminds me of. It's an unreasonably large and extended dead cat bounce. Now, also notice how Bitcoin never went to new lows. And at this point, I'm not expecting the S&P 500 to go to new lows. And I certainly don't expect us to fall 70% like Bitcoin did. But a more reasonable fall in the S&P 500 to at least close like all of these gaps, maybe not this one, but where's my Fibonacci lines? This is actually good. We are hitting a Fibonacci line right now. So if I put a Fibonacci set on here on the daily chart, now I got to figure out which ones are which. Oh, the shorter ones. Okay. So, a pullback to 68. So maybe this gap could close. Maybe this gap could close. But that's the pullback I would love to see. And then we can make this giant like cup and handle kind of structure. But I'm a little surprised at this. Also, this consolidation had a range of about 200 points. And we have already gone 200 points. Like the market should be toppy. Now, the daily counts are not suggesting that it's toppy, but the weekly counts, I believe, are suggesting that it's toppy. So I remain on the sidelines now. I'm no longer in a short position because yesterday hit my stop loss. And I'll wait and I'll make a bigger trade to the short side next time because it needs a pullback. I'm sorry. I know they're printing like crazy, but I just can't see, looking into the future, how the stock market can justify these all-time highs. And I'm like a giant stock market bull for the next decade. Can the stock market fall with the USD continuing to weaken? I'm actually not sure what USD is doing. Let's look at Tesla and then I'll glance at USD. Tesla is hanging in there. I want to see USD. Wait, not what I wanted to pull up. DXY. Oh, whoa, USD is weakening. I think that's gonna end soon. I think give it like 2 more days, and I think that the USD will, start to rally. Look, I trust my counts. Here we are topping right there. Here we are topping right here. Kind of topped. I'm not really, wouldn't have been a huge fan of this trade. But right here we are in 2 days, a potential bottom. It would be a higher low than this low. This low wasn't timed perfectly, of course. Neither was this top. But I'm not that down in the dirt on the US dollar. I think the US dollar can rally. How are the weekly counts doing? Thank you, Alan, for your generous super chat. I have some questions. I'm going to go take a look at Bitcoin, and then we'll get back to some of this stuff. I'm curious what Bitcoin's up to. Let's just go through these. Bitcoin dominance, not looking great. I don't know why I'm still looking at the hash rate. GBTC, the premium is pretty high. It's I'm still staying away from GBTC for the time being. I'm gonna wait for a bigger pullback. The 4-hour chart. Oh, I had no idea the 4-hour chart dropped on a 9, even though I was doing a video yesterday when it was happening. So, but I'm surprised I didn't see it, or I don't remember seeing it. It could have been there, just don't recall. Oh, you know what? I want to stretch this a little. So yeah, so the 4-hour chart is consolidating. It is neither bullish nor bearish to me. Those of you that watched yesterday's video saw how I manage my trades. Very important to keep capital preservation intact. Higher level time frames. We're back in the triangle. Look, to be honest with you guys, how's the BitMEX funding rate doing? Oh, there it goes. Swung to the other side. So all of a sudden, we're favoring the bulls again based on leveraged traders. MACD RSI are useless right now on the daily chart. Look, if we come back and we touch the bottom of the triangle, and then we come back up and touch the top of the triangle, I will ignore this swing. I will chalk it up to some overzealous trader with a large limit order, smashing the book and teaching a lesson to over-leveraged traders. So as long as we hit the bottom of the triangle and this moving average and come back up, I'm still going to consider us in this triangle. I am not yet ready to remove this triangle. If Bitcoin continues to drop into the low $9,000 range, preferably swinging just above 9,000, but not closing below 9,000, I will consider this triangle intact. And the more this triangle is intact into the end of June, the higher the probability of yet another breakout. On a weekly scale, I mean, look, the trend line is doing its job. This is why I was saying when we were doing this video and we were sitting right at the top, and I was saying, we got to wait till where the week closes. You got to wait where the week closes. This is generally how markets short-term top. And now I'm going to be dropping down a little bit. So I am leaning. I have to lean on a pullback here based on weekly scales. I'm neutral based on daily scales, and the 4-hour isn't telling me anything right now. but the weekly scale tells me to be careful and stay on the sideline. Stay on the sideline. Look, the only time in the last year where I've been really bullish Bitcoin was right here off of this 9 buy that turned into a 1, and right here, and then all throughout this area. These were the times I was bullish. This was a short-term bullish because of the count. And this was a longer-term bullish, a long-term bullish, because I believe we're never going to see this low again. So this was a bullish area. I don't think we're going to see 5,000 again. I think this is it. This was your opportunity to buy back in. But now, for the same reason, I was cautious over here. I am cautious here. And I do think that I do trust TA, and TA is telling me to be very careful, which is why I'm not rushing in to buy Bitcoin right now. But I also have Bitcoin that I bought here. Now, I exited a lot of those short-term trades. I'm also not in a rush. Like back over here, you guys heard me say I'm selling my HODL position to pay for some bills. Well, I've been, now that I'm in COVID mode and I'm stuck in a bunker for the last 3 to 4 months, my bills are like this. So I'm in no rush to sell any HODL position to pay any bills because I really don't have any at the moment. I'm also not really making money at the moment. So we'll see how long Tone is going to keep funding his own operations. Though I do want to start the paid Q&A subscription and keep these public videos shorter. All right, longer term look. Here's your monthly chart. The monthly chart continues to look bullish. The monthly chart continues to look bullish. The weekly chart from a hyperwave perspective is still doing its job. This is why we don't mess with these lines until the candles close. And this is not a very bullish looking candle. All right, I'm done with my speeches. I have a bunch of questions. Thank you for your super chats. Whoa, not where I meant to go. Let's go to the, where are we going here? All right, hey guys, if you want to support, check out the affiliate page. Again, I don't have my wallet on me, but I love using my Embly card as I travel because it starts off awesome conversations. I got to get Joe back on, and I still, like, the 3 comma guys hate me. I've been promising them to bring them on my show for like 3 months, and that still hasn't happened. Sorry, guys. If anyone from 3 commas is watching, I apologize. All right, and that's it. Let's go to your Q&A. I feel like cutting the camera feed. Not camera feed, sorry, the screen share feed. All right, let's look at your questions. Check platinum on a 4-hour. All right, when I go back to screen share, I'll try to check out platinum. Also, whoever sent me these shirts, I got a whole package of Bitcoin t-shirts. I'm sorry, you have to reach out to me and remind me. Like people ask me, Tone, can I send you some stuff? And then I give them like a PO box, and then it takes me forever to get to them. But I eventually get to them, and but then I forget who sent them to me. So please leave a note. Like if you're gonna offer to send me like sneakers, like I showed you the other day, they are behind the green screen, and like t-shirts. Like, please, like, write a note so I can like message you on Telegram or something and thank you after I actually get to it. So thank you for that. There's like 5 more t-shirts. Like my whole house is full of Bitcoin t-shirts and Bitcoin hats. All right, next question. Tone, do you think that we're seeing is people buying in because okay, I already answered that question. Will this create bigger pullback in the stocks? 40 million unemployment is crazy. I agree. 40 million unemployment is crazy. And I did, again, I'm not going to get political, but I was in the middle of some of those protests, not on purpose, but I was there. And I was in a car and basically parked at a red light for a good 20 to 30 minutes as the entire protest was like walking towards my car. I was like first at a red light. And like, here it comes. And there was, I didn't see, I had a friend in the car and we're both like let's try to find someone in this protest over the age of 30. And we were struggling to find anyone out of the 20,000 people that were walking over the age of 30. So I don't know what that means, just an observation. We can speculate as to what that means on our law show. I'm not getting political, just going to say facts here of what I've witnessed. And then after that was over, I mean, I got held up like multiple times with the protest. My bad for driving through those areas. I took some videos too, but I didn't make them public. And then continued driving. And then I saw stores, windows smashed, nice stores too. Like it wasn't like Gucci, but it was like designer brand. A car on fire. Well, the car wasn't on fire, but the car was burned down. So it must have been on fire the night before. But it was right there on the street, burned car. A bunch of people, trying to stand next to it, taking pictures, on top of it, taking pictures. I didn't like that scene. Again, I'm all for protests, but burning down cars, smashing into stores, I'm not a fan of that. Hey, maybe if I was 20 years old, I would be all for it. But hey, a little older, different perspective. It feels pretty similar to the Vietnam protests. I wouldn't know. Not only am I not old enough for that, my family was not even in this country. So my experiences of the US begin in the early 1990s. And New York City was not the safest place in the early 1990s. Like 42nd Street was like, was basically hooker and blow central in the early 1990s. And mid 1990s. Okay, let's get to some more of your questions. What do you think about China's digital currency coming this year? Any influence on Bitcoin? The only influence government digital currencies will have on Bitcoin is a positive influence. I am not happy for the people of those countries. The reason why governments want to go to and I've said this many times, the reason why governments want to go to a digital currency is to eliminate paper currency. I don't understand why they are why they're creating a new currency. I guess people need jobs and they want to waste more of printed money. But there's really no reason to have a new currency to go digital. All you need to do is eliminate your paper money. And what you need to focus on is not the digital currency that they're creating. What you need to focus on is the elimination of paper money. And as paper money gets eliminated, then that's good news for Bitcoin. All right, next. Love your work. The halving show was epic. Thank you. I am planning another halving. So I'm planning 2 more shows similar to the halving show. One is going to take place when I break 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And the second one is going to take place at the Genesis block creation January 3rd. So I need to be somewhere on January 3rd, and probably back in the studio, and I'll try to set that up. So I'm going to try to do those epic streams. So there will come January, every Bitcoin birthday. I don't want to do it on the white paper publication because that's also Halloween, unfortunately. But January 3rd is a good day to kick off the new year. So we're going to do one of these, and I'll do one for my 100,000 subscribers. And maybe the next one would be like 300,000 Twitter followers or something. I don't know. We'll do it like every big milestone. All right. Oh, you have a question there. When it comes to log and linear charts, which is right to trend lines, triangles, hyperwaves, and other drawn patterns, and any other thoughts, please? Man, these are the kinds of questions I really want to save for the private Q&A because they're not short answers. So I'll try to keep it as short as possible. I do have to go to screen share. And if I go to screen share, I will also take a look at that platinum chart. So look, what's the best way to explain this? So Hyperwave was designed by Tyler Jenks, and he made it very, very clear that for Hyperwave, you have to use linear scale. That's how he researched Hyperwave. Now, I will say the following, that when we were, I'm going to go back to my weekly chart here. Where were we? No, I have to go to the daily chart. And I have to scroll back. It's like I said, this is going to take time. This is why I want to save these kinds of questions for, oh boy. So right here on a daily scale, oh wait, is this 14,000? Oh God, I got to go way further back. Okay, so here's my best example. There's no right answer here. I prefer log charts all the time. To me, log charts are more useful because they maintain the same percentage analysis. You know, Amazon going up 5% from a $2,000 stock is what, $100. Meanwhile, you know, a stock like I don't know, something like cheap, something like Twitter or something that's like a $50 stock going up 5% is $2.50. So I like that relationship. So I always prefer the log chart in my charting. However, here is a log chart of Bitcoin. And if I take a trend line, I'm going to use an array. I don't have array here. Sorry. So I have to do a trend line then. So if I take this trend line and I draw it like this, this is a trend line on the log scale. I think it was this one here. Sorry. Right. So I'm going to take the very peak here. And then I'm going to also take that top. This was a trend line I was watching. But I was watching this trend line in both log scale and linear scale. And here is why. This is the trend line. You know what? I don't need these things anymore. I'm going to delete them. This is a log scale trend line. And notice how it rejects the price perfectly right here. But if I switch out of log and I draw the same trend line, notice how the same trend line rejects the price here and not here. And if you draw this as a ray, it will self-adjust from here to here when you switch from log to linear chart. And there's no such thing as a right answer here. We were watching both of them. If you go to the videos from February 2018 and then watch the videos from March 2018, you see me referencing this trend line in both ways. I kept an eye on this trend line right here, but then after it broke, I then was always keeping an eye on the log version because the log version has not broken. So there's no right answer. It's almost like saying, which moving averages do you prefer, exponential or simple? I prefer simple, but others prefer exponential. It's really up to you. The amount of TA permutations are almost infinite. It's almost like Bitcoin public keys. Sorry, that's as short as I can make that answer. Next. Can you give a shout out to, probably not. No, guys, look, the easiest way to be blocked by Toned Vays is to ask Toned Vays to promote your shit. Like I didn't build my reputation to promote your reputation. That's not how I got here. I'm sorry if that offends you, but I started in the space by providing things that other people wanted to read. I started out as a writer. Like I never asked anyone to promote my stuff. I mean, look, it was easier to make it back then because there was less people in the space and a lot less professional people in the space. But asking me to retweet, asking me to mention you is like the word is like it's like the fastest way to get on the Tone Vays shit list. All right. So what books would I recommend besides the Bitcoin Standard? The Little Bitcoin book by Jimmy Song and like 7 others is very good. I don't really have any book recommendations. Again, I don't like to read books. I like to listen to them on tape, and I've been busy for that. As far as Bitcoin books go, I haven't read them because I never needed to. Like I learned Bitcoin before most of these books were out. Like I wish more of these books were written, like if those people watched my shows, because some of those books wouldn't be as insane as they are, like all those blockchain books. But no. Tone, how do we get access to your private QA? It's not out yet. I'm still building out a subscription. It's not easy. We have to build the back end of my website to give you logins. I have to figure out how to charge a subscription. I still need to write up, you know, the website for it. I wanted to launch it this week, but it looks like it'll take me another week or two. Yeah, guys, look, if you're starting out, if you're starting out in the space and you need people with a high reputation to help you make it in the space, you're not going to make it in the space. I mean, you have to make it on your own without asking people that have made it on their own to help you make it. That's not how that's not how you're gonna survive, right? Like, look, Peter McCormack made it on his own, busted his ass, and now everyone is mad about how much money he's making. Well, he busted his ass. He deserves it. Welcome to capitalism. Work as hard as him. Make a better podcast. Like I'm sure he'll welcome the competition. It steps up his game. All right. Platinum. I was going to look at platinum. Is it PL? Yep. I don't really want to look at platinum on a 4-hour chart. I don't see how that's relevant. On a 4-hour chart, here's the daily chart. The daily chart's consolidating. I'm leaning a little more bearish than bullish. Here's the weekly chart. I think the weekly chart just stopped. Yep, there it is. The weekly chart stopped. So now I'm leaning even more. Oh, look at that. Beautiful top right here. Look at the red arrow. Beautiful bottom right here. Look at the green arrow. And guess what this is? It's a yellow arrow. It's not as good as a red arrow, but it's still good enough. I am now more bearish on a daily scale because of what I see on a weekly scale. I can go to the 4-hour, but I don't see why it's interesting. I see a little bit of a triangle. Oh, look at that. Beautiful top right here on a 4-hour. Another local top here. Yes, that's a buying opportunity. You're holding setup trend, but you're holding the support line. But I only see this as a 1 to 4 candle correction to the upside, then probably down after that into countdowns. So also looks like a symmetric triangle-ish formation. It's not a symmetric, sorry. Descending triangle-ish formation. I am more bearish than bullish. And sure, you have a 4-hour bounce, but I don't think it's going to last very long. Tone, do you give less than 10% chance for a $2,000 scenario of hyperwave? Yes, I do. I give it less than a 10% chance for 2,000 or lower. I don't remember what my last tweet was about percentages. If we can sustain 10,000 for a few weeks, I will update my percentages. I'm actually not sure how to find it. How do I find it? Tone Vays, Twitter. I don't know. Update percent. Maybe it'll find. Maybe Google will find it. Let me see. No. Oh, you know what? Maybe I go to images. God, I'm scared what's going to show up here. Ah, here it is. Found it. I just needed one of these tweets because I link them together. Right. So this was my very first one. Look at the date, May 2018, over 2 years ago. But if I click on it and I look at other tweets. Oh, wait, that's not the one I wanted to click on. Because they're all kind of linked together. So I want the latest one in I want the latest one. So this one is November 2018. So this one is December 2018. Here we go. We're getting closer. April 28th, April of this year. It's the last one I sent, right? So here we go. So what do I think? 5% chance to fall under 5,000. 5% to go under 5,000. And you're asking me about falling under 2,000. So obviously, if I think there's only a 5% chance falling under 5,000, and this was back in April, right? Now we're in June, so 3 months have passed. Well, 2 months have passed, May and June. Well, actually 1 month have passed. Wow, I didn't do this that long ago, huh? So yeah, the longer, the higher we stay, the lower this probability gets. So absolutely, I do not think we are going down to 2,000. Tone, do you think GLD is hitting the bottom of a trend line? I don't know. You didn't give me a time frame, so I don't know what you mean. All right. Hey, this is the end of the questions. Hey, Sand Snake, thank you again for your super chat. Tone, if we retest 7,000 on Bitcoin, that makes me more bullish. Are you thinking the same? I am. I am thinking the same. 7,000 makes me very bullish because if I look at this, this is the weekly chart. But even on a weekly, especially on a weekly chart, actually, if we get to 7,000, if we don't get to it in a single week, if we get to 7,000, let's say in a perfect world, we get to 7,000 in mid to late August, because we would then be in line with the 200-week moving average support. And this would set us up for a monster inverse head and shoulders. So yes, I would be very bullish at 7,000. And the later in the year we get to 7,000, the more bullish I would be. Like if we got to 7,000 next week, I would not be very bullish. But if we got to 7,000 at the end of August, I would be very bullish. What are your top 5 places to live? Since you mentioned the country Georgia as a top 5. Look, this is where it gets tricky. I think there isn't a single place in the world where I would want to live like permanently. At the moment, the US is still probably the best place to live permanently. Maybe that will change. We'll see what happens with the next election. We'll see what happens. But these protests and the civil unrest is starting to change my mind. So every single place has its pros and cons. So ideally, I don't want to live in a single place my whole life. I want like 3 or 4 places. It's a little harder to raise your kids. But I also think that in the future, someone will build an educational system that crosses borders. Right now, that's a problem. So everyone wants their kids in a stable environment, and you have your school. And if you take your kids for 1 year to another country, how do you get them into school? But the world is becoming, more diverse, and it needs to cater more to digital nomads. And digital nomads also like to have families, some of them. And therefore, unless this is a giant conspiracy with COVID to prevent human travel around the world and lock them into their own country, well, again, no politics, no conspiracies. I believe that in my lifetime, there will be a legitimate educational system that is borderless. So that means that you can take your 5-year-old kids and you can go and live in another country like Thailand or Australia, and there will be a school system for these kids. It will have like more of a global curriculum. We're not going to talk about whether that's a good curriculum or a bad curriculum, but basically kind of like a study abroad program, but a continuous one where there is enough sharing of information. Also, a lot of these schools and even high schools might be over Zoom. So I think within my lifetime, you're not gonna, a family will not be forced to own a home in a neighborhood because of a school district. I think that in the future, this problem will be resolved. In which case, some of my favorite places in the world are, in no particular order, Republic of Georgia, Ukraine. I like it. I guess it depends on your age. I really like Ukraine, Republic of Georgia. I really like Thailand. Vietnam's not bad either, but I really like Thailand. I really like Brisbane, Australia. I mean, Australia is pretty cool. I know they have their own, socialist tendencies. Australia is pretty cool. I have not yet been to Portugal. I'm dying to go to Portugal. I hope I like it. Other than that, as far as Europe goes, I'm not that high on Europe. I'm not. As for Latin America, I really enjoyed Medellin. Still a little bit dangerous in some parts. Hopefully it'll get better. And these are some of my favorite places. Haven't been to Japan yet. Dying to go to Japan. Someone's saying Portugal is the only place that is decent in Europe. Yeah, I'm dying to go to Portugal and visit that. I mean, I've been to most of Europe. It's okay. I enjoy it, but I wouldn't want to. I don't know if I want to live there. I also don't like the cold. So anywhere cold, maybe in the summertime. I also don't like very expensive countries. Look, I'm sorry, I'm still cheap. Like Amsterdam is kind of pricey. God forbid anything north of Amsterdam is like, wow. I bought a round of beers once in Oslo. It set me back like $60 US for 4 beers. It was insane. I can't live like that. I don't even drink beer, for God's sake. I can't live like that. Germany didn't do it for me. All right, we can talk countries all day. I actually have a lot of work to do. Let's move on, guys. Please look at the NASDAQ. It's now going negative after double. What? Yeah. Hey. Yeah, Sand Snake. I don't mind making you a moderator. Now I gotta find you in here. you want to send me $1 to stand out, I'll make you a moderator. Or just type something. Oh, I found you. Never mind. Don't send $1. Save it. Boom. Done. Hey, this was not an invitation for everyone to ask me to be a moderator. Special exception. Been mentioning Sand Snake on these shows for a while. Thanks, man. Thoughts on the VIX? Ooh, VIX. So weekly, it might have bottomed. Still has a descending triangle posture here. Descending triangle posture. Oh, it's a 4-hour chart. Sorry, that's not useful. Yeah, see, it might have bottomed on a weekly, but now we have a red 2 below a red 1, breaking the bottom of what may be a weird structure. Guys, I think the market is topping here. I really, really do. I don't know when. It could take another week, but I think the market is topping here. I just can't see it going higher. I can't. It can go higher, but I'm questioning it going higher. And what was something else that people wanted me to? No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good, guys. I gotta do a bunch of stuff. So I gotta get going. But thank you for watching. This almost lasted an hour. And I'm trying to keep all my videos to an hour. Once the Q&A subscription service is up, these videos will last 30 minutes. I'm gonna keep them half as long. One last peek at Bitcoin. Holding that trend line, you know, it looks pretty when it's rising up. Not as pretty when it crashes down, but we're holding that trend line. As long as we're holding that trend line, I will be patient and stay on the sidelines. I'm keeping the triangle. I want to see if it still continues to develop. All right, guys. If you want to support, please check out the affiliate page. You can also purchase an on-demand video that educates you on how to trade and make your own decisions. As much as I love these trading shows getting me the maximum amount of views, I really want you to trade on your own. And I want my law shows and my upcoming tech show one day. Jesus, that's another project. And the news shows. I want those to get 3 times more viewers than the price shows. I mean, that's why I'm here. I'm here to educate about Bitcoin. And one day, maybe about nutrition. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. And I will see you all on the next one. Let me know if the video quality was better on this stream. And maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But I am looking to do better audio and better video over the next few weeks, upgrading my setups here. All right. Bye, guys.